Good morning, students. This is Shesh Babu, Physics NEET and IIT faculty. I had totally 23 years of experience. From the last 5 years I am working here, SICD. Through this platform to meet all of you, it's very glad for me. So today we'll start with the lesson current electricity. Current electricity is the important lesson. 2 questions will come from the NEET exam. So today we will start with current electricity. In this chapter, previous chapter of this will be electrostatics. In electrostatics, we are discussing about the charges which are at rest. When a charge is at rest, it will create electric field. It will apply force on the other charges. What is the potential created by it? What is the field due to the different shaped bodies? Everything we discussed in the electrostatics. Now in the current electricity, we will discuss about the moving charges. When a charge is in motion, then it will be called as a current. Then what is meant by initially, so we are discussing about that current. That's why we are calling this name as current electricity. First of all, we will discuss what is meant by electric current. Electric current is indicated by the letter small I. We can use the letter capital I also for indicating the electric current. How it will be defined is the amount of charge flowing through a conductor. The amount of charge flowing through a conductor in unit time is called electric current. The amount of charge flowing through a conductor in unit time, that will be called as the electric current. So, if for example this is a conductor, this conductor, let us assume charge Q is flowing through this conductor in the time t, then I is equal to, by definition, so in the time t, Q amount of charge is flowing. In 1 second, how much charge is flowing means Q by T, that will be called as the electric current. What is the SI unit of this one means? Charge unit will be coulomb, time unit will be second. So coulomb per second or ampere will be the SI unit of electric current. And so it is a scalar quantity. It will be a scalar quantity. Though it is having both magnitude and direction, we can consider it as a scalar quantity because it is not obeying the laws of vector addition. If we consider the current is flowing in this wire like this. It is having particular direction. It is having magnitude. But we will consider this current is a scalar quantity because it does not obey the laws of vector addition. What is meant by laws of vector addition means, for example, here one wire is there. Through this wire 10 amperes current is coming. If through this wire 5 amperes current is coming, these two wires are meeting here and the current in this wire will be equal to 15 amperes. If the angle between these two wires is 30 degrees, or if the angle between the two wires is 60 degrees or 90 degrees, whatever it may be the angle between the two wires, the current flowing through this wire will be 15 amperes only. That is independent on the angle between these two currents. So it is not obeying the laws of vector addition, meaning of that. So it is a scalar scalar quantity. Electric current is having both magnitude and direction. But we will consider electric current as a scalar quantity because it is not obeying the laws of vector addition. If the current is charge flowing through the wire is varying, if it is not constant, then to find the current, we will use the formula I is equal to dq by dt. Basic formula to find the electric current, I value will be equal to q by t. This is the basic formula to find the electric current. If the electric current is not constant, it is time dependent, then to find, for example, q they gave it as 5t square plus 3t plus 2. Then charge will be time dependent. Find the electric current in the wire means we have to use the formula I is equal to dq by dt. This formula we will use. Or from this, sometimes they will give I value. They will ask current or charge value. Then dq is equal to I dt. I am integrating this q is equal to integral I dt. In some problems they will give current. They will ask to find the how much charge is flowing through the wire. Then we will use this formula q is equal to integral I dt. Next, so up to now what we discussed, let us see what is meant by electric current, what is its formula, what is its SI unit, and if the current is not constant, we are using the formula I is equal to dq by dt. Next, after finishing of this, what is the direction of the current? Direction of current is representing direction of motion of positive charge. Direction of current in any wire. For example, there is a wire. Current is flowing in this wire like this. What it is representing? Positive charge in this wire. How it is flowing? That is represented by the direction of the current. So, negative charge means electrons will move opposite to the direction of the current flow in any diagram. Next, what are the different formulae to find the electric current in different situations? What are the formulas? Let us see. Initially, for example, so applications. Initially, let us see first application. For example, n particles are there. N particles are moving through the wire. Each particle is having a charge q. If they passes through the wire in the time t seconds, then find the strength of the current. Like that they will ask. N charged particles are there. Each charge is q. They are flowing through the conductor in the time t. Then strength of the current I value is equal to nq by t. We will use this formula to find the current. For example, there is a charge q. It is moving in the circular path. Just like electron is moving, revolving in the circular path around the nucleus. Like that, a charge q is moving in the circular path of radius r with velocity v. Find the strength of the current. Like that they will ask. Here formula will be I is equal to qv by 2 pi r. So a charge q is revolving in a circular path of radius r with velocity v. Find the current means we have to use the formula I is equal to QV by 2 pi R. Let us see how this formula is given. Basic formula for current is equal to Q by, here T means capital T. Capital T will be called as the time period. What is meant by time period? Time taken by the particle to complete one rotation in the circular path. Particle started from here. Again particle came to here. How much time that particle is taking? That will be called as the time period. Then I is equal to Q by T. T value will be equal to 2 pi by omega. So I value will be equal to Q omega by 2 pi. Omega value will be V by R. So this value I is equal to QV by 2 pi R. So a charged particle Q is revolving in a circular path of radius R with velocity V. Find the strength of the electric current means we have to use the formula I is equal to QV by 2 pi R. Next, in some problems, they will give discharge tube. What is meant by discharge tube means it is an evacuated glass tube. Evacuated means air was removed in the glass tube. Then it will have two electrodes. One will be called as the cathode and another one will be called as the anode. From cathode, electrons are moving towards the anode. From anode, protons are moving towards the cathode. Cathode is negatively charged, anode is positively charged. From cathode, electrons are moving towards the anode. From anode, protons are moving towards the cathode. If N1 electrons are moving from cathode to anode and N2 electrons, N2 protons are moving from anode to cathode or from one end to another end, from left to right, like that they will mention. Find the strength of the electric current, like that they will ask. Then we have to use the formula N1 plus N2 into E by T. E is the charge of the electron, magnitude of charge of electron and magnitude of charge of proton both will be same. So we can use this formula in this case. So in different cases, what we are discussing, let us see. In different cases, what is the strength of the current? Like that they will ask. In the first case, if n particles are flowing through the wire, each part in time t seconds, and each particle is having a charge q, then we have to use the formula I is equal to nq by t. In this case, I is equal to qe by 2 pi r. In a discharge tube, n1 electrons are moving from left to right and n2 protons are moving from right to left. Find the strength of the current. Means you have to use the formula n1 plus n2 into E by T. Next, after completion of this, let us see what is meant by drift velocity. We will discuss about current density initially. After this, we will discuss about the drift velocity. Current density. Current per unit area of cross section will be called as the current density. So, current per unit area of cross section is called current density. So, formula for this? J is equal to I by A. So what did you say SI unit means? Ampere. Already we know for electric current unit will be ampere. For area unit will be meter square. So ampere per meter square will be the SI unit. Here current density will be a vector quantity. Why it is a vector quantity means basically current value we can write it as the dot product of J and A. The dot product of current density and area of cross section will be equal to the I. That's why J will be a vector quantity. Next, after completion of this, let us see what is meant by drift velocity. Drift velocity is indicated by the letter Vd. We will consider one conductor. Let us assume this is a conductor. Materials will be, basing on the electrical conductivity, materials will be divided into three categories. One will be conductors, second will be insulators, third will be semiconductors. Materials which allow electric current through them are called as the conductors. Materials which do not allow electric current through them are called as the insulators. Materials allow electric current sometimes under some conditions. They don't allow electric current under some conditions. The means partial conductors are called as the semiconductors. Now we are considering a conductor. Conductor will have free electrons. These free electrons are valence electrons in the conductor. They will move randomly inside the conductor with some velocity. That velocity will be called as the thermal velocity. So the velocity of the electrons inside the conductor will be called as the thermal velocity. This velocity is in the order of 10 power 5 meter per second. But if we consider one electron, its thermal velocity will be 10 power 5 meter per second. But if we consider average velocity of all the electrons, then that velocity will be equal to 0. Average thermal velocity of the electrons will be equal to 0. Why it is 0 means these electrons are moving random. One electron is moving like this, another electron is moving like this electron is moving like this. They are moving randomly inside the conductor. That's why the average velocity of the electrons, thermal velocity of the electrons is equal to 0. Now, we applied electric field between the ends of the conductor. So, this is the conductor. Between the ends of the conductor, we created electric field. With the help of a battery, we created some electric field. Then these electrons will acquire velocity because of the electric field. That velocity will be called as the drift velocity. For example, here electrons are there. They will move towards this end, and they are repelled by this negative plate. They are attracted by this positive plate. That's why the electrons, when electric field is applied between the ends of the conductor, then electrons will drift from one end to another end with certain velocity. That velocity will be called as the drift velocity. So how we will define the drift velocity means the velocity acquired by the electrons. The velocity acquired by the electrons in a conductor when electric field is applied between the ends of the conductor is called drift velocity. Like this we will define the drift velocity. Then what is the expression for this drift velocity? Let us see. So what is the expression for this drift velocity? So initial velocity of, let us consider a conductor which is having n free electrons. In this conductor, it is having n free electrons, and intensity of the, let the L is the length of the conductor, V is the potential difference created, E is the intensity of electric field between the two ends of the conductor. Now, because of this electric field, electrons will acquire some velocity. That velocity will be called as the drift velocity. So, here if we consider the electrons here, because of this electric field, some force will act on the electrons. What is that velocity mean? What is that force means? F is equal to E into Q. From that formula, that force value is equal to E into minus E, because charge of the electron is minus E. Then this value will be equal to minus E, means force acting on the electrons will be opposite to the direction of the electric field. Electric field will be in this direction. Force acting on the electron will be in opposite direction. So we can write here F value is equal to ma, where m is the mass of the electron, a is the acceleration acquired by the electron. So this value minus E by, so a is equal to minus E by m. This is the acceleration acquired by the electrons in the electric field. Now, what is the expression for this drift velocity? Let us see. The initial average velocity of all electrons is equal to 0, and the acceleration of each electron, A is equal to minus E by m. Next, when these electrons are moving towards this side, they will collide with the positive particles of the metallic lattice. So, the acceleration or the velocity acquired by the electrons will not sustain by the electrons for a long time. Because what happened, when they are moving, they will collide with the other particles, then automatically their velocity will change. So drift velocity will not last, will be lost by the electrons in very short span of time. It will not sustain by the electrons for a long time. So that time will be called as the relaxation time. Here we will define this relaxation time. Relaxation time is indicated by the letter tau. How it will be defined is the time taken by the electron applied. Positively charged metallic lattice is called relaxation time. Once again, try to understand. When we apply the electric field, these electrons will acquire velocity. That velocity will be called as the drift velocity. This velocity will not sustained by the electrons for a long time because these electrons are colliding with the another charged particles inside that metal. The time interval between one collision, that will be called as the relaxation time. Relaxation time will be different for different electrons. So from V is equal to U plus AT, we can write V1 is equal to final velocity of the electrons. First electron will be U1 is the initial velocity minus E by M into tau 1 is the relaxation time for the first electron. V2 will be U2 minus E by M into tau 2. Similarly, Vn equal to Un minus E by M into tau n. If we consider the average of all of this, that will be called as the drift velocity. So drift velocity is nothing but the average velocity. So Vd is equal to V1 plus V2 plus 1 Vn by n. So we can write it as U1 plus U2 plus 1 Un by n minus E by M into tau 1 plus tau 2 plus 1 tau n by n. This value will be equal to 0. This is minus E by M into tau. This will be Vd. Then Vd value will be equal to minus E by M into tau. This is the expression for drift velocity. So what is the formula for drift velocity means minus E by M into tau. E is the intensity of the electric field applied between the two ends of the conductor. E is the charge of the electron. M is the mass of the electron. Tau will be the average relaxation time. Using this we can find the drift velocity of the electrons. Next, after completion of this, let us see what is the relation between electric current and drift velocity. We will derive the relation between these two. What is the relation between electric current and drift velocity? Consider a conductor. This is a conductor. Let us assume small n is the number of electrons, free electrons, per unit volume. number of electrons per unit volume in the conductor, let it be n. So n is equal to, if capital N is the number of electrons, V is the volume. Let us assume A is the area of cross section, L is the length of the conductor, then volume of the conductor will be equal to A into L. Then small n is equal to n by capital V. So this value n by A into L, then capital N is equal to NaL. What is the number of electrons, number of free electrons in the conductor? Let it be NaL. Let us assume electric field is created between the ends of the conductor. Let the intensity of the electric field, let it be capital E. Because of this electric field, what will happen? When electric field is applied, these free electrons will acquire velocity. That velocity will be called as the drift velocity. So when we apply the electric field, electrons will acquire the velocity. Let the velocity will be drift velocity. Let that value will be Vd. Then Vd is equal to, what will happen means L by T. From this T value will be velocity is equal to length by time. If the electron from here to come to here, if it takes place a time T, then Vd value will be equal to L by T. From this T value is equal to L by Vd. Let this will be equation 2. Then from the basic form we have to find the relation between I and Vd. Basic formula for I is equal to Q by T. Here Q is equal to Ne, N into E by T. Already N value we got here, N is equal to NaL. T value we got here, L by Vd. If we substitute, this is NaLe by, this T value will be equal to L by Vd. Now what will happen, you see, L will cancel. This Vd will come to the numerator. So this value NaeVd. Then I is equal to NaeVd. This is the relation between current and drift velocity. So here what are the symbols? Let us see. I will be the electric current. N is the number of electrons per unit volume. A is the area of cross section of the conductor. E is the charge of the electron. Vd will be the drift velocity. So the relation between current and drift velocity is I is equal to NaeVd. This is the relation we will use. We will extend this and we will derive the Ohm's law using this. How to extend that, let us see. To derive Ohm's law, to get the formula for resistance, how we will extend that law, let us see. So up to now what we discussed, see, initially we discussed about electric current. In different situations, what are the formulas to calculate the electric current we discussed. After that, what is meant by current density, what is meant by drift velocity, what is the expression for drift velocity, what is the relation between current and drift velocity. Up to that we finish now. Now if we consider the relation between electric current and drift velocity, I value is equal to NaE into Vd. This is the relation between electric current and drift velocity. Now, already we know the formula for drift velocity. Vd is equal to minus E by m into tau. Just we derived in this class only. Expression for drift velocity is this one. Here minus sign, what it is indicating, those electrons are moving opposite to the applied electric field. That only they are representing. So if we consider the magnitude of drift velocity and if we substituted this value here, then what will happen? I is equal to NAE into E by M into tau. So then this value I is equal to NAE square tau by M into capital E. Here what is the terminology? Once again, you see, I is the electric current. N will be the number of free electrons per unit volume. A is the area of cross section of the conductor. E is the charge of the electron. Tau will be the average relaxation time. E is the intensity of the electric field. Small m is the mass of the electron. Here E value we can write it as V by L. So I is equal to NAE square tau by M into E is equal to V by D. A relation between electric field intensity and electric potential. E is equal to V by R or V by D. From that formula we can write this as E is equal to V by L. Then I is equal to, I am writing like this, 1 by ML by NAE square tau into V. This ML I wrote here. NAE square tau I brought to the denominator, which is there here in the numerator. I brought it to the denominator. Then I is equal to 1 by this value into V. This will be called resistance. Resistance R is equal to ML by NAE square tau. Then if we substitute this value here, then I is equal to V by R. V is equal to IR. This is nothing but Ohm's law. So in this way we will derive the Ohm's law using the relation between current and drift velocity. Here V is the potential difference, I is the current, R is the resistance. Okay. We will discuss about the Ohm's law. Now, first of all, before that, we will discuss about mobility. Mobility is indicated by the letter mu. It will be indicated by the letter mu. How we will define the mobility means mu is equal to Vd by E. The velocity acquired by the electrons or the drift velocity of the electrons when unit electric field is applied between the ends of the conductor. When unit electric field is applied between the ends of the conductor, the drift velocity acquired by the electrons, that will be called as the mobility. So here what is the SI unit if you write for this? For velocity unit will be meter per second. For intensity of electric field unit will be volt per meter. So we can get it as meter square second inverse volt inverse. That will be the SI unit of this. Now next, what is meant by Ohm's law? Before that we will discuss about the resistance. resistance is indicated by the letter capital R. Already we derived the formula for resistance. R is equal to ML by NA square into tau. What is the terminology? Once again you see, R is the resistance. M is the mass of the electron. L is the length of the conductor. N is the number of free electrons per unit volume. A is area of cross section of the conductor. E is the charge of the electron. Tau will be the average relaxation time. So how we will define the resistance means the opposition created by the conductor to the electric current. For example, this is a wire. This is a metal wire. Electric current is flowing through the wire. When current is flowing through the wire, this wire will tries to oppose that current. That opposition property will be called as the resistance. So, the opposition created by the conductor to electric current. The opposition created by the conductor to the electric current is called electric resistance. Here in this formula, M is constant, number of electrons per unit volume, generally this value remains constant. Charge of the electron constant, average relaxation time will be constant. So here R value will depends on the length, depends on the area of cross section. So resistance value will depends on the length, it will depends on the area of cross section, it depends on the nature of the metal. Different metals will have different resistance values. Like that it will be there. Next, the reciprocal of this resistance. What is the SI unit of this resistance means? Ohm. Scientist name. And the symbol for this will be omega. So, ohm symbol will be this one. SI unit of resistance will be ohms. Next, if we write the dimensional formula for this, R is equal to V by I, or we can use the basic formula ML by NA square tau. This is the formula. M value will be mass, capital M. L value will be length. So L. N is number of electrons per unit volume. So this will be 1 by L cube. Area value will be L square. Then E value will be E is equal to AT. So A square T square. Time value will be T. So for N this value. Number of electrons per unit volume. Area will be L square. Charge will be A square T square. Time will be T. Then what will happen means finally M. L power 4 will cancels by L square means L square will come. T power minus 3. A power minus 2. This will be the dimensional formula of this. So how we will define the resistance means the opposition created by the conductor to the electric current, that will be called as the resistance. In electrical circuits, symbol for resistance will be this one. In any circuit, for example, it is an electric circuit. This is the symbol for battery. This is the symbol for resistance. Resistance is indicated by this symbol in circuits. Next, after completion of this, let us see what is meant by conductance. Conductance is represented by the symbol G. How it will be defined is the reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. G is equal to 1 by R. So what is its SI unit? Already we know unit of resistance will be ohm. So it will be ohm inverse. We can write it as mho. Only for this one, not for all symbols. MHO, mho, like that we can write. Or we can write it as Siemens. Symbol for Siemens will be S. So SI unit of this conductance will be ohm inverse or mho or Siemens. Next, after completion of this conductance, we will discuss about the Ohm's law. First of all, Ohm's law is not a fundamental law. It is not a fundamental law. Fundamental law means what? It will obey by all the substances in all conditions. Then it will be called as the fundamental law. Here it is obeyed by certain substances under some conditions only. That's why it is not considered as the fundamental law. What is the statement of this Ohm's law? Let us see. For a given conductor, the amount of current flowing through it is directly proportional to PD across it when temperature remains constant. We are considering a conductor. We are keeping the temperature of the conductor as a constant. Then, for example, this is a conductor. This is a metal wire. The amount of current flowing through this conductor is the current is flowing means, let us assume this point is A, this point is B. Let I be the current flowing through the conductor, means between these two some potential difference is there. it will be at high potential, it will be at low potential, then only current will flow through the conductor. So what Ohm's law is saying, for a given conductor, the amount of current flowing through it is directly proportional to potential difference across it. If V is the potential difference between these 2 points, then I proportional to V, then I is equal to some constant 1 by R into V, then V is equal to IR. This is mathematical form of the Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. That is the value, it will come in the earlier classes also for you. Basic form, mathematical form of the Ohm's law is V is equal to IR. V is the potential difference, I is the strength of the current, R is the resistance. Next, on the Ohm's law, some ohmic conductors and non-ohmic conductors will be there. Let us discuss about them. What are ohmic conductors? Some substances will obey the Ohm's law. Those will be called as the ohmic conductors. Substances which obey Ohm's law are called ohmic conductors. For ohmic conductors, if we draw the graph between V and I, while drawing the graph generally, independent variable we will take on the x-axis, dependent variable I is dependent on V. If we will take on the x-axis, so y-axis here, dependent y-axis, independent we will take on the x-axis. If we draw the graph between these two, that graph will be like this. For ohmic conductors, VI graph will be a straight line passing through the origin. Let us assume this angle will be theta. What is the slope of the graph is equal to tan theta. Slope means we can write it as I by V. So tan theta is equal to I by V means IR. This value will be 1 by R. So what is the slope of IV graph? Means that value is equal to 1 by R. In the examinations they will ask like this. They will ask like this. Here IV graph for 2 different metals. This is metal M1. This is another metal M2. For 2 different metals, IV graph is like this. Let this angle will be theta 1, this angle will be theta 2. Easily from the diagram we can say theta 1 value will be greater than theta 2. In this 2, which will have more resistance? Like that question will be there. So here what will happen? Tan theta 1, we know tan theta 1 value will be greater than tan theta 2. Tan theta value here how much? 1 by R1. So 1 by R1 greater than 1 by R2. So R1 value will be less than R2. So relation between, so this metal M1 will have less resistance, metal M2 will have more resistance. They will change the question and they will ask like this also. If, for example, here I took the I value. took the V value. Here M1, here M2. Which metal will have more resistance? Here what will happen? This angle, let it be theta 1. This angle, let it be theta 2. What is the slope of the graph here? Slope of the graph is equal to V by I. This is equal to R. V value will be IR by I. So this value will be equal to R. So what we can say here? Tan theta 1 greater than tan theta 2. So R1 greater than R2. So let us try to understand the thing. Here I is there. Here V is there. Then R1 less than R2. Instead of this, in some questions they will give here V, here I. What is the relation between the resistance of the two conductors? Like that question will be there. Then R1 value will be greater than R2.